And lastly, you need to have an owner retention marketing planner. And if I surveyed 100 dealers and I said, could you step forward and share with me your marketing plan in fixed ops for the next month, I would doubt if 10% of you could provide me with that plan. If I asked you, what is your marketing plan for the next 30 days for your new vehicle department, I suspect that every single one of you has a plan, whether it be direct mail sale, an event sale, television, radio, newsprint, you name it. All of you have something going on in the month for new and used vehicle sales. Well, what do you have going on for fixed ops? You need a plan. I'm going to share an outline with you as to what a marketing planner should look like in your service department. And maybe you ought to consider some additional franchises. Some of you may have lost a franchise in the last year or two. Some of you may have lost all of your franchises in the last year or two. What opportunities are there out there to build service absorption without your new vehicle franchise? Well, here's one that was recently advertised in a major automotive publication where we have Thrifty asking dealers, do you have a plan? And what they're referring to is that, do you have a plan after you lose your franchise? And they're offering you everything from floor plan support to marketing, and of course inventory support and so on. So that's just one example. But here's your aftermarket people. Remember, if 84% of the business is going to these folks, so if you can't beat them, maybe you ought to join them. Because here's a recent ad from Driven Brands. There's a multitude of brands that have franchises available for new car dealers. I mean, some of you got nice primo locations with a very well-designed building to service customers, whether it be in the body shop, the service department, or the parts department. Here are some franchises that you might want to consider that you can look into. And I mentioned I would give you an example of a marketing planner, and here it is. It needs to be every single month, every single week, and every single day we have to have a plan. And we have to have a thing called maintenance reminders and retention mailers and quarterly mailers. The quarterly mailers are usually being designed and sent out by your manufacturers, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. But a quarterly ad campaign and a spiffy yellow page ad is not much of a marketing plan. All right? You've got to be in front of your customers throughout the year. Your customers don't need servicing just once a quarter. We've got to keep our names in front of those customers in addition to the appointment process that I talked about earlier. You know, how many of you advertise used vehicles once a quarter? The answer would be none. How many of you advertise your new vehicles once a quarter? And the answer there would be none. Well, if it doesn't make sense to advertise new or used vehicles once a quarter, then why would it make sense to advertise to the service customer on a quarterly basis? You've got to keep your name out there in front of your customers, okay? Because service retention is the key. And